Hi, I'm Magaibo, and today I'm going to try something that I haven't really done before, or at least not with much success, and that is ganking with smart bombs in EVE Online. The kind of ship you would normally use for smart bombing in EVE Online is a mauler, and I've bought 12 here which I'm going to try out. I'm just going to show you the fit. So it's a smart bomber. You need the extra grid, because even though it's a cruiser, you're using large smart bombs. You're using 4 of them here, and you need to use everything that you've got to increase the grid so you've got enough to activate these 4 smart bombs. Like the Thrasher, this is alpha ganking. You're trying to get your target with 1 hit. My intended targets today are shuttles and corvettes that are flying down from the Tranquility Trading Tower to the gate in perimeter to jump to Jita. Now, unlike the Thrasher ganking, there is no scanning going on here. I'm just trying to hit the targets and hope that they've got something on board, given where they've come from and where they're going to. This is hit and miss. I've undocked from the Tranquility Trading Tower, much as my targets will do, but what I'm going to do is warp to the Stargate at, well, this is hit and miss. I'm going to try it at 30 kilometers. Now my smart bombs have got a 5 kilometer radius. Now I tried messing around with this at 50 kilometers and could get nothing at all. So I'm just going to make myself a little bookmark. 30 kilometers, smart bomb from TTT. And the trick here is going to be not only trying to get a ship that's coming down from the tower, but getting it in my 5 kilometer radius. Now of course I still need a looter. So I've got my looter ship here. And there's my Gable. So I do not want him to be getting hit, getting damage. So let's just do keypad of 5,100, and that'll put him outside the sphere of damage. So my next thing is identifying targets. So if I just look at the station itself, Tranquility Trading Tower is 3179 kilometers away. So anything that's around 3179 kilometers, so that's these ones here. Wow, this is slow, isn't it? Okay. So I hit F1, F4 there, and they all activated. But I gotta watch, because if a pod comes down at the same time and I kill that, you're just gonna attack anything within that sphere. So again, this is so different from ganking with the Thrasher. Now, at the moment, I've still got it on my Corvette only overview. I really would like shuttles on there as well. So if I just select a shuttle, so I've got one there, 3297. But he's going somewhere else. Okay. I really do not know what I'm doing here. What was this? I'm having to get myself in a different mindset, because whenever I see a ship slow boating to the gate or a frigate out there, I want to scan it and kill it. So what I've activated here is the tactical overlay, and that gives me a grid with distances on it, which I think should try and help me. So what I'm ideally going to do is try and get the ship while it's in this circle. Now, I don't quite know how it works. I don't know if you've got to preempt lag and try and hit it as it's coming up to the circle, Or if you hit it while it's in the circle, and then it's a matter of the client telling the server when you've hit the button, and then it's trying to figure out everything that's happened all at once to see whether or not you actually did hit it at the time. But we'll try it. And I'm thinking that even if it looks like it's in the circle in this dimension, this is flat, this is 2D. Because it could be out of the 5 kilometers that way as well. Right. Let's give it a bash. Now the reason I chose 30 kilometers is you can't activate a smart bomb if a gate is within that sphere, so I'm well out with that. But also orbiting the gate, you've got your customs officials and your sentry guns, so I just want to be well away from all of that. So if I activate my smart bomb and I miss, then I'm not getting concorded or killed. This is quite good when you've got this overlay on, is that you can see if you click on a ship, these lines. Now it's showing me where he's going, where he's warping to, but it appears to be in relation to my position. So what I need to do is, right, this ibis says, right, he's called Trade and he's up here, so I'm going to see if I can get him if he comes down to this gate. Wow, that's slow. That's like a good couple of seconds after I press it that you see the effect. Here's another one, he's a shuttle. I need to figure out what these lines mean when you hit it. So this, it looks like it's pointing this way. So he definitely went through that circle. But I think I pressed it a bit early that time. Okay, this is going to be a lot of trial and error figuring this out. I'm sure there's people who are really good at smart bombing who are having a laugh at my efforts here. Right, here's another ibis. Oh, he's gone somewhere else. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, let's try him. Come on, walk down to me. There's a couple there. Oh, that warning was just to tell me my cap had run out. Right, no, I'm missing everything here. This is not going to be a great ganking video. If at the end of this video I've still got 12 maulers, I'm going to be really unhappy. Okay, another shuttle. Oh, he's gone. It's really important that when you activate the smart bombs, you turn them off practically as soon as if you've hit the button. So you press F1, F4 and then do it again. Because in the event that the smart bombs go off a second time, you could end up blowing up the wreck that you've just created, or podding the pilot whose ship you've just blown up, which would give you a much larger hit on your security status. Now, this is a terrible idea for a video. Now my loot is a member of my corp. My corp is set to allow PvP, so it wouldn't matter too much if I did hit him with a smart bomb, but I don't want to do that repeatedly in case I cause him too much damage. So the damage I could look to be causing here would be about 1200 HP. Oh, we've got a Reaper here. Come on, Captain Black. No, he's docked. I've seen Galaxy Conqueror coming and going a few times and he's been empty every time, so I'm not too fussed about that, but I do still want to have my Thrasher so I can scan him. I think one thing that's clear is that there are far fewer potential targets when you're smart bombing compared to when you're scanning with a Thrasher. Does anyone want to buy 12 maulers? So I'm not entirely sure about the mechanics of a smart bomb. So from when you press the button, the damage is caused, but for how long? It says activation time duration 8 seconds. Now that could just mean it's 8 seconds before you can activate it for a second time, but does that mean that the damage is there and present for 8 seconds? So that makes it sound like you press the button and then there's 8 seconds worth of damage. But then if I overheat it, see what it says there. Activation time is 6.8 seconds. So if you're overheating it and it's doing less damage, that doesn't sound right. So it sounds like the activation time is purely the amount of time you have to wait before you can activate it again. So how long does it actually cause damage for? I've got some friends who do smart bombing, very successful at it. They do it off the perimeter gate in Jita. But what they do is they scan shuttles and corvettes as they undock from the station. Or they look from at shuttles or corvettes that have an insta-warp, meaning that when they undock from the station they immediately warp to a point over 150 kilometers away, a preset bookmark, and that tends to be an indicator that they've got valuables on board. You wouldn't ordinarily do that if you had an empty ship. Now this was something that was a lot more obvious with the old station in Jita, because it had such a large undock that wasn't really aligned to anything apart from one of the planets or one of the moons. The new undock is aligned to 4 of the gates, or almost aligned to 4 of the gates. So the requirement for insta undock points is, well, it's pretty much a moot point now, because your alignment is negligible. However, there are some people who out of habit still warp out to their bookmarks, and that is a heads up for a smart bomber for a potential target. So the smart bombers pick their targets using an alt at the station, and then watch them to make sure that they're warping to the right gate. And then at their point at the gate, when the ship comes in, they'll activate the smart bomb and they'll have an alt there ready to pick up the loot. It's very smooth, and the people who do it tend to be very good at it. Not like this. At the moment, my biggest problem is the lack of targets. Although people who are experienced might be pointing out that even with a mass amount of targets, I'm still doing the wrong thing. The tornado down there has just ganked an industrial. Now if we watch this, he's got 2 ships there. There's a Wreath and a Mastodon, which is a DST. Now what's happened is he's scooped the loot with the Wreath, which is a T1 industrial. He's taking it to the Mastodon, which is a DST, and it has a fleet hangar. So he's scooping the loot into the Mastodon. The Wreath goes suspect, the Mastodon doesn't. So now anyone can attack the Wreath, and that's fine because he doesn't have the loot anymore, the Mastodon does, and it's gone. Now I've got an Orthus coming towards us. Now because he's sitting so close to me, I can't activate the smart bombs without aggressing him. Meaning that there's very little point in me being here just now. Not that there was much point being in there before he turned up. So as well as not being able to use smart bombs within an activation range, i.e. 5 kilometers of a gate, you also can't do it within 5 kilometers of a station either. Which is why you don't really see maulers ganking on stations. It can't really be done. Although I have heard that people have been able to use a smart bomb between the station and the gate, like midway between. I don't know how that works. I don't know if that's legitimate either. But it's Eve, so anything's possible. Oh, come on, he was right on me when I pressed that. Have I got to wait until he's past me, or just a little bit past me? Okay, I've got an idea here, which is to take one of my own pilots, who you can see is undocked there, called Target Kadaroo. He's normally my booster. And I'm going to practice with him, just have him bouncing backwards and forwards to the gate. The advantage being that if I do hit him, I'm not going to lose my security status. So let's have him walk down and see if I can hit him. Okay, so I hit it just as he passed me there and missed him completely. So let's try that again. So I'm pressing the button when he's here, and that's clearly not very effective. Okay, he should be on his way back down again now. So I'm going to try and get it when he's around here. Nope, again missed. All I can say is that if you see me out in a mauler, then you're perfectly safe. So let's try it even earlier. Should we try it as soon as we see him enter this screen? Or as soon as we see him within 50 or 40? Oh, that worked. But it didn't blow him up. If I bring that over, you can see low structure. But it's a hit. So, what have I learned? I've learned I can't even blow up my own Corvette. But I've learned that it's as soon as they enter this area. Okay, that's interesting. So what I'm going to do with my alt is I'm going to get them to dock, and I'm going to get them to repair, and then we'll try this again. Now, is there going to be any variation in the damage that you cause somebody? What are the factors at play here? If I'm shooting with a turret, there's things like the transversal, the speed of the target. You've got the size of the target, the signature radius. All of these are factors with the amount of damage that you're tracking, your optimal range if you're using a turret. All of these are factors with the amount of damage that you cause. Smart bomb must be different. This shuttle is in the right spot. Let's see if he comes down. I was a little late. Shuttles are quicker, so I need to be going a little bit earlier with him. So I've undocked my alt again. I think the last time I said about 50 to 40 appear to be around there when I activated the smart bomb. So let's try that again. Ah, you beauty. I got him. And where was it? About here when I pressed the buttons? Well, that worked. That's good. So I have my ult at the Tranquility Trading Tower again. Just going to get him to walk down to the gate and try this out. Got him again, but look at that. Did you see that? So it was just inside here, I think. I pressed F1 to F4 and I got the ding to kill him, to notify I had killed him instantly. But then on the overview, the ship continued down and then the pod reappeared here, as if the client and the server was all just catching up with one another. So this shuttle is gone somewhere else. Ah! There's so few targets. So when my undocks, he's at 3,300 kilometers, and then it starts to come down as he undocks and the client loads the grid. So when I see other ships at that 3,300, they're not docking, they're just undocking. Okay. So what is that, about a 50% success rate? Oh, now, I didn't practice what I preached there. I pressed F1, F2, F3, F4 to start the smart bombs, but I didn't turn them off again, so I've just accidentally podded my ult and destroyed the wreck. RIP to my faithful ult. He was a good man. He was prepared to stand up to all sorts of rubbish, all sorts of abuse, getting smart bombed, shot at, and the indignity of having to fly an empty Corvette around high-sec. Just like to have a moment's silence for him. So I got a little bit of a better idea of the mechanics involved here, but I would like to kill something. Bloodlust is overtaking me. What I've noticed is that when I'm hitting F1 to F4, sometimes one of the smart bombs don't activate. It appears to be my F2, my second smart bomb doesn't always seem to be activating. So if for some strange reason you are enjoying these videos, then please like and subscribe. Thanks to everyone who has done so already. It's up to 425 at the time of recording, which is absolutely phenomenal. I've hit the limit of over 10,000 views in the last 28 days as well, which is crazy. And the new videos are getting about 500 to 1,000 views within the first 24 hours of being published. So thank you very much to everyone who's watching, commenting and asking videos and sending messages in game, messages of support or convoying me. It's all really appreciated. Also want to point out Macgybo.com has got fits, kills, videos, details of all the videos that I've produced there, and it's got a blog which provides further details about the ganking and the things that I get up to. See this little Venture autopiloting along, and if I had a Thrasher I'd be scanning him. The longer I think about it, the dumber this seems, to be waiting all of this time to have a very low chance of blowing something up that might not have anything on board anyway. This is maybe the dumbest thing I've ever done. In fact, the only thing I've managed to do so far is kill my own ult. This is not a success. Here's a shuttle. He's no doubt gonna escape my clutches. Another shuttle. Please, please. It's pitiful, but I'm begging you. Come down to the gate. No. On reflection, this has been a terrible mistake. If you've got this far into the video, then I think you deserve credit and the opportunity to be compensated for this terrible time. I'm going to get back into the Thrasher where I belong. And I've got 12 molars that I have absolutely no use for, so I'd like to give them away. So please like, subscribe, comment the word molar in the comments below by downtime on Saturday the 15th of January, and I will pick someone's name at random, and the winner will get all 12 of these useless molars contracted to them in perimeter. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.